Hey, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got something fantastic news for all tech and AI members who love to hear from my channel what is happening in terms of the tech innovation. So, how can image solve the persistent problem in image generation? So, rendering text inside the images, right? So it's a complex one. I've been trying with multiple times with various image models. They have taken a longer time, and they may not able to accurately placing the different languages in their images. So that's a problem. So Qwen image. I, I think like because it's open source and it's incredible to use to build our own applications which gonna help you to the autonomous vehicles where it's hard for them to understand the sign languages. So let's see how they have leveraged this advanced training techniques and refine the text data handling with unique model architecture. And you're gonna take a look how you're gonna create this incredibly realistic text rendering images. And let's hear from this podcast and my upcoming video. I'm gonna show you how this is going to be used in real time, and I'm gonna keep all those related links in my text, my YouTube description. And please.
All right, let's jump right in. Every now and then, a new AI model drops that isn't just a small step forward, it's a massive leap. And today, we're talking about one of those leaps. It's a brand new open source model from the Qwen team, and it's cracking one of the toughest nuts in AI image generation.
And honestly, you can feel the energy in the community. This quote from the Comfy UI subreddit, it just says it all, right? The pace right now is absolutely insane, and this new model is like pouring jet fuel on an already raging fire. So, what is all this buzz about? Well, it's a new foundation model called Qwen-Image, and its big claim to fame, its superpower, is something that has been the Achilles heel for pretty much every other model out there. It can actually write.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll introduce Qwen-Image and what really makes it tick. Then we'll get into the secret sauce, its data and training. After that, we'll see how it actually performs, and more importantly, what it means for you. Then we'll zoom out to look at the bigger vision here, and wrap it all up with a final thought on what's next.
All right, let's get into it. Introducing Qwen-Image. Because, yeah, it makes some absolutely stunning pictures, but its real importance, it goes way beyond just being pretty.
To really get why this model is such a game changer, we have to talk about that one glaring weakness. For years, there's been this one thing that even the most powerful AIs just mangle. Any ideas what it is?
That's right, it's text. We've all seen it, haven't we? You ask for a simple sign that says open, and you get back some garbled, alien-looking mess. It's the classic giveaway that an image is AI generated. On the left, you see the typical result, just nonsensical squiggles. But Qwen-Image? It was built from the ground up to render sharp, clear, and contextually correct writing. This isn't just a minor improvement, it's a fix for a fundamental problem.
So let's get official for a second. Qwen-Image is a foundation model from the team at Alibaba. And according to their own paper, it was designed to do two things exceptionally well. First, render complex text with incredible accuracy. And second, perform really precise and consistent image editing.
So, the billion-dollar question, how did they do it? How do you teach a bunch of code to become a master typographer? Well, as it so often is with AI, the secret is all in the data and how they train.
If you want to understand this model, you've got to look at its diet. The training data is incredibly diverse. You see a huge chunk for nature images, which gives it that realistic foundation. Then you have design images, things like posters, to help it understand layout. And of course, people. But look closer. See that little 5% sliver? That right there is the secret sauce.
And this is the absolute key. A full 5% of their huge dataset wasn't scraped from the web. It was data they created themselves, synthetically generated specifically to teach the model how to write.
As analyst Simon Willison pointed out, this isn't just feeding it other AI images, which can bake in mistakes. No, this was carefully crafted stuff, from simple words on a colored background all the way to complex text on presentation slides.
And they didn't just dump this data in. The paper shows this really sophisticated filtering pipeline. First, they curated and cleaned all the raw data, getting rid of duplicates and junk. Then they enhanced for quality, filtering for clear, well-composed images. The next step was crucial, aligning the captions to make sure the words actually match the pictures. And only then, after all that, did they mix in their special synthetic text data and start refining the whole thing for high-res training. It was incredibly methodical.
Okay, so all that painstaking work on the data sounds great in theory, but did it actually pay off? Let's put this thing to the test and see how Qwen-Image really performs out in the wild. The results are, well, they're frankly stunning. Just look at this table. It shows how well different models can render common Chinese characters, which is an incredibly tough task for an AI. Qwen-Image is sitting at over 97% accuracy. Now, look at the others. They're not even in the same ballpark. This just proves how powerful that text-focused training really was. And it's not just about writing. On the AI Arena leaderboard, where real humans vote on which AI image they like better without knowing the source, Qwen-Image is holding its own against the biggest names in the game. It's right up there in third place, shoulder to shoulder with Google's Imagen 4. And the most important part, Qwen-Image is the only open source model in that top tier. It's competing with the closed source giants. And believe me, it's so much more than a text generator. This thing is a total powerhouse. The paper shows off its skills in advanced editing, like transferring an artistic style to a photo, seamlessly adding or removing objects, or even changing a person's pose. It can even do complex stuff like estimating depth in a 2D image. It's a true multi-talented model.
Okay, this is all incredibly impressive from a technical standpoint, but what does it actually mean for you, for the developers and creators out there? Let's bring this down from the research lab and onto your machine.
So there are basically two main ways to get your hands on Qwen-Image right now. For developers, you can go straight to the source. The Alibaba Cloud API gives you direct access to all the different versions and their most powerful features. And for creators and hobbyists, the community is already all over it. People are plugging it into tools like Comfy UI, and there are already special versions out there for people with less powerful graphics cards, which is huge.
And when you look at the API, you can see you've got choices. There's the top-of-the-line Qwen-VL Max for the really heavy lifting. There's a Plus version that balances performance and costs, and you've got these great open-source instructed models in different sizes like 72 billion and 32 billion parameters. It gives you a ton of flexibility depending on what you need to do.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute and talk about the bigger picture. Because the team behind this model, they don't just see this as a better image generator. For them, it points to a whole new direction for AI itself.
This quote, right from the conclusion of their paper, just nails their whole philosophy. They're talking about a future where these models don't just produce images, they genuinely understand them. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's a huge shift in thinking. By mastering something as complex as writing, which needs a deep understanding of meaning and space, the model is showing that it can comprehend things on a deeper level. It's not just splashing pixels on a canvas, it's understanding the idea behind them. And this is starting to blur that old line between computer vision, which is about seeing, and image generation, which is about creating.
So, we've seen what it is, how it works, and what it means for us right now, which brings us to our final stop. What's next? Where does a capability like this actually lead us?
Models like Qwen-Image are hinting at a future where that line between perceiving the world and creating a version of it just gets fuzzier and fuzzier. As these tools get better at not just making, but genuinely understanding, it just blows the doors open for new ways to communicate, to design, to share ideas. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what really happens when that line between seeing and creating disappears completely?